Hello and welcome to ReformWatch UK with me, Oh, hang on a sec. Oh, my stream deck's not working. With me, Graham Hughes and Ollie Bowlerhatman. How you doing, Ollie? You all right, mate?
I'm all right. I'm all right. Yourself?
Good, good. Yeah, I'm having some technical gremlins. I got set up today, and you know, normally, like when you press things on your computer and it makes things happen. I pressed things on my computer and it went, ooh. Oh, I don't know about that. And then like about 3 minutes later, it actually opened the program that I needs to open. So yeah, that was a bit sucky, la la. Otherwise, is this trying to give me football? Did that say Wales were playing or something? I don't want that. I want the telly. Oh no, you go. The World Watchers with the World Watcher. Okay, hi Graham, hi Ollie. Says Sarah Davis in the chat. Hey Sarah, how you doing?
That is
Whoa,
my MP on the background, I think. Is that Dan Jarvis?
is it?
I can't tell.
No, it's a Tory. Is he a
Keeps on
Tory?
looking down. Oh no, I can't tell. Yeah.
It's not. It's a Tory. It's not. You've got a Labour person as your
No,
MP.
I couldn't see who it was. I was like,
Yeah.
is that Dan
No, well,
Jarvis? I
see
couldn't
the
tell.
guy here, the guy there. That's Tory thingy. What's his name? Tory guy. I've forgotten.
Ah,
I can't remember any of their names. Anyway, probably doesn't matter. Great power to the people. Great with Graham Price says, "Evening all. Hello, power to the people. How you doing there?" And yes, they've got the Chris is modding or not modding. I don't know. Hiding confetti from Diz will never happen. More chance of Farage not lying. Farage not lying. And Bowler Hatman says soon. So Stream Deck's not working. So I'm just gonna have to do it the old-fashioned way. If
do
you
it
want to
manually.
join the chat, hit the subscribe button, and you will be encouraged to join in with our friends in the chat. It's a friendly bunch. Don't be a troll. Okay, Ollie. So where do we start? Redditch, Mayor, Farage's pure cold rage, the Ukrainian
Oh,
flags coming down, the war on Pride,
can we
the
start
civil
with the most
service plan.
ridiculous thing of all?
Okay, go on.
Yeah, this has started off in Kent and it's starting to spread.
Oh
So
God, it's not COVID, is it?
coming soon to a reform council near you. Um, Kent, of course, decided that they were going to pass in their infinite wisdom that now, before the start of every single council meeting, we are now going to say the Lord's Prayer
Oh,
and
for
sing the
fuck's
national
sake!
anthem.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
Because somehow doing that will, I don't know, do something. I don't know what, but it'll do something. They've just instituted it as well in Surrey Council, I believe, today. Um,
If those
so,
dickheads know the words to the Lord's Prayer, I'll be very surprised.
well, they have to put it up on a big screen for them.
Oh, I was going to say they
Yeah,
don't know the
they
words.
put it up on a big screen, and this is the insane thing.
Insane
Like a
clown
council
posse.
is going to get sued. Like one of these councils is going to get sued. Someone will sue them eventually
Yeah.
because you cannot um dictate this because someone will come along or there'll be a Hindu, a Muslim, a Sikh, whatever on the council will just go, what about my prayer? And that's how it will start eventually. Um, or I can guarantee you this will end very badly. It will end with one of these councils being sued. Um,
Well, that's what they want, isn't it? They
yeah.
just want the controversy. They don't want to actually govern. They don't actually want to make things better for the people where, they're in charge of, whose
Oh
lives
no,
they're in charge of.
they don't want to make things better.
JC77701, thank you very much for the £10 super chat. That's very kind of you, my friend. Says, disgusted by Farage's and the RefUKers comments today. RefUK are as bad as a tapeworm infestation residing in the intestines of the UK body politic. That's putting it mildly. Thank you very much for the £10 super chat. I couldn't agree more. Absolute scumbags. The police fucked up. There's no doubt about that.
Mm.
But trying to make this into this White Lives Matter thing. Farage is yeah, they're disgusting, says Steve's. They're just absolutely disgusting. One officer has already been relocated following death threats sent to him and sent to them and their family. And
There's a
Sphereland
local Sikh
says,
temple as well that's been attacked as well.
Sorry, say that again.
There was a Sikh temple attacked as well recently by these lot in Portsmouth as well. Not Portsmouth,
By attack,
Southampton.
Do you mean they attacked the making of it, or did they actually physically attack it?
The worst thing to do was they tore down the iron gates that were in front of the place itself. So
fucking hell.
Yeah, it wasn't good. The police did turn up to disperse them eventually, but if they'd have decided that they wanted to do something, they could have easily gone in and done something to that place. So that is not that is not good.
Sphereland saying in the chat, I watched the Coventry Council of Reform lot. We don't know what we're voting for. That was Kirklees as well.
That's the Kirklees, yeah.
That's Kirklees one.
Oh, we'll talk about Kirklees because oh boy, that's a
hold that thought for a moment. David Faulkner over in Hong Kong has just thrown 38 Hong Kong dollars at us, so thank you very much for that. If there should ever be a Farage reform government, I shall not put a foot on British soil throughout the eternity of the duration of its regime. I swear, yeah. I'm with you, man. I'll probably get out. Get out while the going's good. So go on, tell us about Kirklees.
Yeah, Kirklees Council. Where to begin? Where to begin with this story of failure? So what most people I don't think realize is that immediately after the local elections, all councils have what they call an AGM, the annual general meeting. At the annual general meeting, it should be, again, I stress this, should be pretty cut and dry. Right. They go, this person is going to be leader of the council. This person is going to be deputy. You're going to sit on this committee. You're going to sit on that committee. You're going to be this chair. You're going to be that. It's all done. It's normally, even for other councils where there is a non-majority holder, it can be and should be pretty cut and dry. That's normally how it goes. However, not in Kirklees at all.
No.
What we got was two. First of all, the reform leader of the group put themselves forward to be leader of the council. That's the first thing you've got to understand. So they've actually put themselves forward to be leader. The Greens put forward their candidate on the council to be leader as well. So you now have to have a vote. Neither gets a majority, essentially.
Yeah.
This then leads to a situation where they start putting in standing orders. If you don't know what that essentially means, is in a system that's run by sort of a constitution, there are certain rules and things you can bring in. These are sort of standing orders. So I want to bring in standing order. I can't remember what it was called now. They brought it on Kirklees, but essentially the standing order is everyone has to vote. No one can abstain.
Yeah.
And they again, one of the Conservatives put this forward. A very reasonable thing to do. And that's when one of the councillors stood up and said, you're going to have to slow down because I don't know what standing orders are. I don't understand what's going on. And we don't know what we're voting for.
And this person stood to represent people, but didn't think that they had to know anything about.
That's who they wanted to be the leader of the council. Jesus. See, it gets so bad. Another one, I can't remember the guy's name now, stood up and went and said that it called it entirely undemocratic when all this stuff and standing order stuff was
undemocratic because they didn't know how it worked. Which is a bit like standing up saying I didn't break the law because I didn't know what the law was.
Yeah. It's absolutely insane that they are going through and are standing for positions like this, and they are not educating themselves on this. Because I know, like Barnsley Council, they have put through the Reform councillors 5 weeks worth of training before the AGM took place. Kirklees, I know, from what we know now, that all these new councillors had at least a week's worth of training.
Oh, right. So you just didn't pay attention. Okay.
Yeah, they just did not pay attention.
Miss Paula Thomas says Farage will never be PM. He is a reluctant leader. He absolutely hates being more. He absolutely hates being a more behind the scenes influencer. This is why Richard Tice is the one to watch. Well, Richard Tice knows he can't win on his own. He needs Farage to win, doesn't he? He needs Farage to get. But like the caliber of these people who have stood for RefUK, and they're just absolutely bloody useless.
Yeah. Have you heard about the split happening between Zia Yusuf and Jenrick?
No. Tell me more. I'm quite intrigued now. I hate them.
They all we've heard so far is that Zia Yusuf and Robert Jenrick are like falling out massively behind the scenes. So look forward to those fireworks when they start to go off. So that'll be fun. We don't know exactly what they're falling out over, but it seems to be what we've seen on other councils for the past year, that you have like the old Tories and the true reformers now like going head to head with each other and butting heads. And again, we don't know what they're arguing over, but it seems to be pretty much everything and anything from what we've heard. Nice. So who knows what they're going to fall out over, but I think in the next 6 months-ish, I think we're going to have an almighty row between Jenrick and Zia Yusuf. I really do. I think they are going to have an absolute barnstorming ding-dong with each other at some point in the future. Over what? I can't say, but that'll be fun when that happens. That'll be very fun when that happens. Oh, back to Kirklees as well, because the story continues, right? The story continues. Right? So the AGM finishes. The AGM finishes. New council leader hasn't been selected.
Yeah.
So they have to have another council meeting. Okay. This happens a week later.
Right.
Still not chosen a new council leader.
Oh my God.
So remember, not only have they not chosen a new council leader, that means there is no leader of the council, there is no deputy, there is no one voted in on these committees.
Yeah.
At the moment, Kirklees Council is basically being run by the chief exec.
Yeah, which I think it will be for a long time to come.
Oh yeah,
until
it is
people vote in normal people.
Unavoidable. It will be run by officers. What's even worse, the next council meeting is potentially, I think, in 2 months' time.
Yeah.
Unless they can come together and sort something out, which I don't think they will sort anything out on this front. So Kirklees Council is an absolute mess at the moment. Absolute mess.
Oh man. So like, instead of doing things about potholes and schools, public transport, waste disposal, economic development, housing, they're just going nuts about pride flags, Ukraine flags, race war, culture war, social media scandals, civil service conspiracies. They're not the best, are they? They're not sending the best.
Did you hear about the guy in Sheffield?
Go on, what happened in Sheffield?
So there was a guy in Sheffield who got outed because he'd been sharing he'd been praising Adolf.
Oh, okay.
And how great Mein Kampf was.
Right, okay.
So he got called out for that. Literally, I think it was almost immediately after he'd won.
Yeah.
a reporter came up and said, "Hey, what about these, social media posts? What's going on here?" He is now stood down. He is an independent. He missed the first full Sheffield Council meeting because he had flown off somewhere. He'd flown off on holiday.
Yeah.
And he's apparently thinking about his future in politics while he's on holiday. And what's worse, you are stuck with him. This is what is so bad about all this. If this sort of a similar scandal happens in your area or like to one of your councillors and they go independent, it's very difficult to get rid of them. It's very difficult to get rid of them. They've got to pretty much at that point stand down.
Yeah.
On this.
RefUK's new mayor of Redditch just came out today. Huge
that's another one
of historic social media posts.
Yep.
I mean, this isn't just one or two badly judged comments. This is like a litany. She praised Enoch Powell for his Rivers of Blood speech. She complained that there were too many black performers at the Queen's Platinum Jubilee concert. She told Lenny Henry, "No thanks, I identify as a white woman." She shared images of Asian communities in London and claimed it was heartbreaking to see what was happening to the capital. She said that Britain should not have a Muslim prime minister because Britain is a Christian country.
Yeah, and what denomination though? That annoys me. That annoys me whenever they bring this up because there's such a history of this.
Presbyterians.
I mean, technically,
Seventh-day Advent hoppers.
Yeah, technically we are C of E, and I believe we are not in the case down in Kent. I don't think it's the C of E prayer that they are saying. Or someone told me very recently, which raises so many questions. How dare they bring their popery, their Roman popery, into this country?
Popish tricks. So
I know.
In our wonderful national anthem, which sounds like a funeral dirge, one of the lines is now their knavish tricks, but it used to be their popish tricks. Straight up. Only 5% of British adults now attend a Christian service weekly. So 95% of people aren't that arsed. And a good number of those people who attend churches to get their kids into the good school.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, do the denomination thing.
Time waste.
Leave them fighting amongst themselves. What denomination is it though? That's what we want to know.
Yeah, this is it. Someone should sue. First of all, I think that'll happen eventually, and this should put a stopper into it. Although we might get a giant court case out of this. Who knows? That'll be fun to watch. But it's absolutely insane that this is it, because someone could just come along just saying, well, I think we're doing the wrong, Christian one, saying I think we should be actually doing the St. James Bible version of the of this of the Lord's Prayer. There's like 5 or 6 different versions of the Lord's Prayer, depending on what denomination of Protestantism.
The Catholic version is a little bit shorter than the Protestant version. The Protestant version has at the end of it forever and ever, amen. And the Catholic version doesn't have that. Because it's a bit like, did you need that extra line in there to say forever and ever? Oh man. Yeah.
Did we talk about the art they'd sold off down in Kent last time? We talked about that?
No. Art.
Yeah. In Kent, as the council, this is something else everyone who has a reform council needs to watch out for now. Your council will own art in some way, shape, or form, or capacity. Might be through museums, maybe it's a sculpture, it's something like that. They sold it off.
What?
They sold public artwork off.
Who was this?
Like ReformUK, the Kent County Council. They did it with no consultation. Um, didn't tell anyone that they were selling it off, did it on the sly, and
Yeah.
even made a loss selling it. So there's artwork out there that might never essentially be seen again if it goes into
They're
private
just
collectors'
absolute
hands.
criminals, aren't they? We got another super chat in. Thank you very much. My super chat button should be working. Yes. Chris C. They are using the Church of England version of the Lord's Prayer, which makes sense because obviously,
Yeah.
body King
What about
Charlie as
all those
well.
Catholics then? What about like, all the Catholics sitting on that on that?
Well, I
For a
mean, this is the
Christian
thing.
country.
It's like they're just playing. They're just using the Trump playbook, but it works with knobheads. They're like, oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
great. That people who don't give a fuck about Christianity, have never attended a church service in their life, wouldn't
Mm.
know which way up to hold a Bible. I never mind read it. Yeah, I just it's not about being a Christian. It's about not being a Muslim. It's about not
Mm.
being a Sikh. It's about not being a Jew, not being a Hindu. You know. And if they can sort of say, "Oh, Britain's a Christian country," Britain's a Christian country, then they make it exclusive. They make it less welcoming to people from around the world, which is what they want to do. But it also makes it less welcoming for people who aren't, particularly Christian. And also for actual real Christians, I think it makes them feel a bit awkward.
Did you know they sacked a vicar?
Oh God, what did they sack a vicar for?
So
Did they say maybe we
this
should be nice to each other?
oh no. This is so this is like again, following on from this, like, oh, we're meant to be a Christian country and then they've sacked a vicar. So this is in Calderdale Council. And in Calderdale Council, they have a majority. They've taken over and they have basically dominated all these committees. Now, on the scrutiny committee, there was a independent, and he was a vicar.
Yeah.
And he was essentially brought in to be the chair of this committee because they wanted someone who was an independent voice, who wasn't part of politics, was non party political. In fact, this guy had done this job for the past 16 years.
Yeah.
So this wasn't like something new they'd brought in. He'd done it for the past 16 years. Not only that, but he's head of several other like governance committees.
Yeah.
He's even like sits on the Home Office governance committee,
Right.
like as an independent. So this guy knows what he is doing when
Yeah.
it comes to like governance and scrutiny. But not for Reform UK. They've given him the boot, and of course have taken both chairs on the committee, on the scrutiny committee. And then, of course, they've stacked it full of their own party. So no scrutiny for us, essentially.
Jesus Christ.
It's absolutely insane that they've done that,
They'll get
especially
away
after
with
like,
it
oh,
as
we're a
well because
Christian country.
Labour are doing nothing to shore up the some backbench Labour MPs are saying, listen, we're going to do this elections bill. We've got to do it properly. Stop these political donations. Stop stop them getting money in from abroad. Stop them getting in from all over the place. Apparently, Tommy Robinson is leading a protest at Southampton Central Police Station. And the local BBC radio officers, let's go do it with the BBC, calling for the police officers to be thrown in prison who attended the incident where they've been told a lad, they were expecting to attend someone who said something racist, and that they weren't expecting to find someone who had been stabbed. I mean, it's awful. It's genuinely awful. It's absolutely. But
It's unfortunately it's a failure of policing.
yeah,
That is the story. Unfortunately, it does happen.
no, it
Even
was a fuck
police
up.
officers
I
are human.
genuinely believe it was a fuck
You
up, but I don't think it was like an intentional fuck up.
Yeah.
They were
No,
there for one
it
particular
won't have been.
crime.
This guy will have walked in, and you've even seen people do this, in jobs. Like, maybe they miss like an important safety, like briefing, or they don't do something, and there's a there's a screw up.
Yeah,
It happens everywhere,
yeah,
and it is being spun now as a way to spread hatred.
Yeah, yeah.
That is what it is being used now. Yeah.
Do you know what though? I mean, I feel sorry for the Sikh community because this dickhead who's done this, there's got to be calls for them to get rid of their ceremonial dagger. Like after this, because the whole thing was like, oh, it's there to protect people, and it's like, well,
Yep.
clearly,
But the thing is, it wasn't even a ceremonial dagger.
was it not? I thought it
No,
was a
it wasn't.
ceremonial
It
dagger
wasn't.
that used.
This has been some misreporting on this.
Okay.
He actually used a different knife that was used to do the stabbing. He just happened to have his, of course, ceremonial dagger on him
Oh,
as
okay.
well at the time, and they've all said, "Oh,
Oh,
this is
I thought he
the way he
used
did."
it.
But no, it wasn't the ceremonial dagger. It was another one knife that he used because he's a part of like a sect within like Sikhism, apparently, that like you carry to or something like that. I'm
Yeah,
not 100%
again,
sure, but
it's
yeah,
like we make exemptions for religion, but when it comes to stuff like this, it's going to make the whole thing so much more difficult. What a little twat who, the guy who did this should he's fucked things for a lot of people, and not just within the Sikh community. I mean, yeah, this will be felt amongst all communities who are not white and Christian in this country will feel the backlash
yeah.
from this.
I know people, of course, in Rotherham, and I know what it was like for some of them after the after all the stuff kicked off in Rotherham. There was a time for quite a while where it was do not go out at night by yourself. You know, you be careful about getting in a taxi.
Yeah,
You know, there was an incident where one guy who was again nothing to do with this, taxi driver, they all got in. Like these guys got in a taxi and then go to this location and then they beat him up. It had nothing to do with it. Just
yeah,
that one of the people who
wrong place at the wrong
committed
time.
that crime was just happened to be a taxi driver.
Yeah.
And he got
Well, this is it. Things are kicking off in Southampton now. Then the people will be injured and
yeah.
possibly worse. Just innocent people who are just there.
I would not be surprised if this ends up in a riot.
Well, this is what people are saying in the chat that it's heading
Yeah,
towards
I'm not
a
surprised. I will
riot.
not be surprised if it ends up in a riot. It will
And Nigel
be
Farage is absolutely loving this, which is just
yeah, well, it will be. I think the thing is,
sickening. Sickening.
if I was Keir Starmer right now, I would be turning right on Nigel Farage and said, right, if there's any violence
Yeah,
that spurn on from this, it is all Nigel Farage's fault.
yeah, yeah.
That's what I would be doing. That's why I'd be really calling it on him now, to do that.
Yeah. His but that I mean, what Farage has done here, it's the same thing that he did after Southport. He did exactly the same thing. He made a statement, a half fucking formed statement to the public, giving people the excuse to go out and go and cause trouble. And that's what he wants, because he's the same as Trump. He's just a troublemaker. Can't build anything, can't make anything, just wants to destroy stuff. Talking of destroying stuff, the attempted war on Pride. So not only did ReFUK pull
Oh yes,
cancel
with Durham,
funding,
yeah.
but then Aslef and other fictional characters from the line Witch of the Wardrobe, like the CWU and Unite and TUC, all joined in to make sure that the Pride event over the last weekend was funded, and it meant it became bigger. It was twice as big as ever before, better funded, better attended. The weather was amazing. And the miners and the LGBT, obviously mining is a big thing here in Durham, and the miners and the LGBT movement have got a long shared history going back to 1984 when lesbians and gays supported the miners. There's a movie called Pride, which tells of these events. And it's about communities standing together when governments tried dividing them. But Sunderland's banned the Pride flag. So the Pride flag, the reformers at the City Hall will never fly the Pride flag. And Norfolk has pulled down the Ukraine flags.
Yep.
Do you think Vladimir Putin's going to be sad about seeing the Pride flags go down? He's going to be sad about seeing the the Ukrainian flag's been taken down? Do you think that's going to make him sad?
Again, probably not. I mean, I'm expecting, similar things to happen in my own town now. I was very, very interested to see that the week that Reform took over officially, it was Barnsley Fostering Week. So they'd actually taken down. Normally, the Ukrainian flag is up pretty much all the time, but they'd taken down the Ukrainian flag and they'd actually put up for what they normally do during Barnsley Fostering Week. They put up the flag for Fostering Week. So far, that hasn't come back yet. So I will be not too surprised, honestly, if the Ukrainian flag does not return. And bear in mind, just like many other councils, we have had the flag up now since 2022. Yeah. And we've got a very large Ukrainian population in Barnsley. Again, for just for historical historical reasons. One's the fact that a lot of them fought on the other side. If you know your history. Well,
when I was
on that one.
When I was driving back with some Ukrainian refugees, family, mother and 2 children, we were driving into Stockport in the south of Manchester, and the little village that we went through, they had Ukrainian flags up all over the village, and the mum of the family burst into tears. She was so grateful to see the flags up. And that sort of thing, the fact that you can give people a bump and make them feel good, even when life's a bit shit, is a wonderful thing. And to not do that, to take even that away, it smacks of Genrick, who's now a RefUKer, painting over the children's cartoon pictures in the refugee centre in Kent. Just like a really twatty thing to do, just really petty and like sadistic. These people are sadists. They just want other people to suffer, and they get off on other people's suffering. I thought it was very telling when a Brexiter was asked, like, what do they want to see? What haven't they been given by Brexit that they wanted? What law are they now under that they don't want to be under anymore? And all they could come up with is, I just want to see you lot cry like you did on the day after the referendum. That's all they've got. Just sadism.
Yep.
David Faulkner, thank you very much for the £5 super chat. And also Chris C. Did I mention Chris C saying thank you, Ollie, for raising that fact? So big thank you to Chris there. And a big thank you to David as well. And some great news, Ollie. Great news. This means that I can fire off the confetti cannon. 3, 2, 1. Confetti! Yay! Woo! Yay!
No, but I was absent on Sunday. I was at the UK Games Expo in Birmingham.
Yeah.
Great time. I picked up some new games.
Hercules' 12 Labours.
Yeah.
You got pregnant 12 times.
Very, very good. Solo board game. Very nice. And this one, oh my god. I absolutely love this. It's called Tacta. You can pick it up like really cheap, but it's such a good addictive game.
Cool.
And it's so simple as well. So simple.
Game's always that simple. I want to make a board game based on my travels around the world.
Yeah.
So you got to get from one country to the next, but you have to abide by certain rules. You don't find out what the rules are till you're in a country. So you got to pick which of the neighbouring countries you want to go to next. But the border, you might need a visa, or you might need to get on a ship to go somewhere. And there's all different ways you can play it. Like you can play it to try and do it in the fewest amount of steps without backtracking. You have to answer questions, and as you go around, instead of having
another world board game.
Yeah, instead of having like a community chest and chance, you have like you pick up like a shipping card or and then a diplomacy card, and it'll say, you get 4 visas free. So you'll be able to get the next 4 visas that you need for free. But it's all based on me trying to get from one country to the other. But yeah, the Odyssey board game. It's actually on the front cover of my book, Man of the World. That's a little mock-up of the board game there on the front cover, and me playing it. With the ladies, which is a bit of a nod to 1970s Mastermind board game, where it's got the guy with the there's a version of Mastermind that's got a guy with two women, and it's so 70s. It's ridiculous. Oh no, this isn't going back in its little home. Go back in your home book. Sorry, Ollie. There you go. Back in his little home.
But yeah, give the UK
risk.
Games Expo a visit sometime. It's very good. Can highly recommend it. Highly recommend it.
Yeah.
I know what's another good story. Wakefield next door.
Oh, before we come to that, before we come to Wakefield, the message up from Chris C at this protest, this riot, some of the placards. One reads, "I can't breathe," because that's what the lads said to the police. But obviously they're picking up on that because that's what the guy in America said who got murdered by the police. Another reads that Starmer has blood on his hands. And another reads, "Muslims out now."
I mean,
the guy who did it was a Sikh. It's different. It's a different. Let's burn down the observatory so this never happens again. Tell me about Wakefield.
So Wakefield, in particular, two big things have happened there. A couple of years ago, Wakefield went through a big, bit of a big Ofsted scandal for children in care. The children in care there was they found Ofsted like absolutely raped them over the coals for how they were looking after these kids in care. Found out that it wasn't very good, and so they went, okay, we're going to do something about it. So they actually made a committee so that these kids and the people who look after them can actually come to this committee and speak to the people in charge, council officers, so that they have a voice in the council, so that their voice can be heard. That committee has been really successful. I think it's been running for the past 12 years, I think, something like that. I think it's been running for quite some time. And what did Reform do is one of the first acts. They canned the committee. So a committee that is primary point is to look after kids in care and vulnerable kids in care, because they do not have adults to look after them. They've lost the parents for various different reasons. Gone. Just gone, because they don't want to spend time running the committee, essentially.
I mean,
and apparently it cost too much. The committee itself,
mad, isn't it?
Like the committee itself, the Labour MP for Wakefield got involved in this, and is like, you're talking about saving like £2,000 a year.
Yeah.
That is nothing. That is absolutely nothing in the grand scheme of a council that has a multi-million-pound budget. Yeah. That money saved will do nothing. It will disappear into another, into the ether, essentially. But that was money that was being spent on a committee that was doing some real good for the area. Not only had it massively improved the situation for kids in care on there, but it's just gone now.
It's like Tory austerity on steroids, isn't it?
The other thing they've done, because this wasn't the only thing, they've gotten rid of the children's uniform budget help. So now low-income families in Wakefield can't get any help to buy school uniform.
Bastards. So once again, it's working class kids who get the brunt of this, isn't it?
Yep.
They're just utter scumbags, and they don't care. They just don't care, and they'll use any excuse to, pick themselves up. And
Yeah, and
have
what's
you?
even really weird is the leader of the Wakefield Council looks like Kevin. What's his name now? Kevin Sorbo, the guy who actually, ironically, also played Hercules as well, which is really weird. I don't know
Yeah,
why, but it just looks like Kevin Sorbo. But it looks like a really like weedy version of Kevin Sorbo as
yeah.
well.
Well, Simon Smith says, yeah, ReFUK Wakefield Council cut 1.3 million from free school uniform scheme.
Yeah,
1.3 million pounds taken from a school uniform scheme.
and that would have helped so many people
Yeah. Oh yeah,
in Wakefield.
thousands of children.
So many people in Wakefield and gone.
These are the same
We
people
have
going,
a
why aren't people having children? Why aren't they having
yeah.
children? Should be having children. You can't fucking afford it, you daft twats. Just
Yeah,
because they all
we
went to
have a very
private school and were born with the
we
same
have a very
screw up their
similar
arse.
program in Barnsley. I think that's going to go as well. I will not be too surprised the next couple of weeks if that goes as well.
I suppose this will be a dig at like single mothers who are struggling to keep their head above water and look after their kids.
Yeah, I think they're just going to just go after anything and everything they foresee. I mean, you look again at Essex; they've just got rid of quote net zero.
Yeah.
They've abandoned the net zero, the net stupid zero, as they are calling it there. But what have they abandoned? They actually haven't said in as part of their like their big announcement that they were quote abandoning it. They haven't said, are you getting rid of like the flood defense committees? Are we getting rid of like the climate change emissions target? Like, are we getting rid of like climate prevention? Are we getting rid of coastal erosion measures?
Yeah.
They haven't said what they're getting rid of. They're just abandoning net stupid zero. But what that actually means, we don't know. It is insane.
So it's so disheartening, isn't it? Like the Tories are going down this route as well of saying, "Oh, we're going to get rid of net zero," and it's like, but it's going to save us money. It's going to save us a lot of money. They're like, "Oh no, but it doesn't cost us anything." You
Yeah,
know,
it's not.
if
It
it
saves money in the
cuts,
long
it
term,
saves money in the long
massive
run.
money in the long
Saves money in
term.
the short term.
Yeah,
It makes
well,
us
it's like
less reliant on gas and
yeah,
oil
it's
coming
like
from
the
other
flood defense
countries.
committees. Do you remember this when
Yeah,
because this happened in other areas that they took over last year? They got rid of the flood defense committees, and these committees were all about coming together and going right. Let's have a look at what the current flood defense plan is. Let's get all these people from all these different groups from inside the council, outside the council to come together and talk about if this floods, what's our plan? How can we prevent that flooding from happen?
yeah,
And if there is, flooding, what did we do well and what didn't we do well and what can we do better on next time? Those committees no longer exist. And if
yeah,
there is any major flooding, in any of those areas, I think it's going to be quite bad. I think it is going to be quite bad if we get any major flooding
yeah,
in some of these areas. I really, really do.
yeah,
Because they've got rid of these committees. And once again, those committees prove that they work.
yeah.
There's a reason why these committees all exist on that. It's yeah, yeah. This is going to be causing so much damage at a local like politics level, so much damage, and we've got 4 years to go of these people in charge.
Yeah.
Unless, of course, you're in Worcestershire and you've just got rid of them.
Yes, because they've all fallen apart in infighting.
Yeah.
Well, that's something. If you look at what's happening in Makerfield,
Mm.
the Advanced Australia Fair Party or the Restore Party, or whatever they call themselves today, Richard Lowe's little horrible little racist outfit is trying to out racist the racists, and they're taking a chunk of the ReFUK vote,
Mm.
which is, I suppose, it's good. The enemy of my enemy is also my enemy, but if they can stop them getting elected, that's great.
Yeah, that'll be interesting to see what effect. Because I was wondering if they were going to have an effect this time around, if they were going to run. Because I didn't know about a lot of other areas, but I knew that there was independence or quote independence in massive air quotes, um, as they were running as independents, but backed by like
Mm,
Restore UK.
right.
There was also the Great Yarmouth,
Oh God.
as well. Council that Lowe and his crew have taken over, which again will be quite funny to see how I think it's Essex. Is it Essex? Yarmouth is in. I can't remember now. Is it Essex or Surrey? I can't remember. It's one
Don't
of the
know.
two.
Same thing to me.
Um, but yeah, they have to rely on Rupert Lowe's party to maybe get things done in that county. So that'll
My
be fun
God.
to see how well they do or do not play well together with each other on that front.
Mm.
Um, we there's there's so much stuff honestly going on in the past couple of days. It's just insane. And then, do you know how many councillors we're actually up to now? How many reform councillors that we have lost in total since last May's local election?
It's got to be a few dozen by now.
We are at 88.
88.
Mm.
Wow.
So we are at 88. So we are going to be in triple digits in probably like a couple of months.
Yeah, because a lot of the people who've come on who came in
Yeah.
May, they're going to be
Here's the other
absolutely.
question now. How many have we lost have they lost since this May's election?
I mean, it must be half of them. Come on, it's got to be a lot.
16.
16.
Mm.
That's just in a month.
It is, yeah. 16.
That's a couple of weeks. 4 a week. Oh
That
my
is
God.
that is an insane attrition rate to lose councillors at. I
Wow.
it is honestly, absolutely, truly um bit bizarre
Yeah.
to see that they've lost that many people, and it's for various different reasons. Scandals, the old reform classic, social media. I feel like I need to make a um like you've got the confetti cannon. I need to make the like a social media thing that happens whenever like one of them loses to social media. Oh yeah, we've got the guy in Barnsley of it's just a Buddhist phase I went through.
What?
Oh yeah. The guy has a swastika tattoo
Oh, and he
on
said he
him.
was a Buddhist. Right, yeah.
Yeah, no, it was a Buddhist phase he went through about 40 years ago.
Right. Because everyone's going to think, oh, a swastika tattoo, you must be a Buddhist, a white Buddhist. That's the first thing people think of. Has he got any other Buddha tattoos, or was that just the one? Any other symbols?
No, that's just the one that's visible, shall we say? uh, I am I am expecting sort of this week and probably next week to start talking a lot about my own hometown, because they are at that point will be getting under, shall we say, their feet under the desk,
Yeah.
um, and they will start doing stuff at some point. But I can already predict what they'll do. They'll probably deny the pride flag because it already looks like they're doing that already. The Ukraine flag won't be returning to above the town hall. Um, they are probably going to introduce the national anthem and Lord's Prayer for whatever reason. Enjoy, I suppose, but it's complete waste of time when you could be better doing other stuff.
Yeah.
I have a strange feeling as well in Calderdale. They had all these different scrutiny committees as well. So they had like a committee for adult social care, children's, a couple of different scrutiny committees. They've now gotten rid of all those scrutiny committees
Mm.
and condensed them down into just one committee.
Yeah.
So good luck, spending your entire day on discussing all that. That's not going to work for long. I would be shocked if they keep it at just one committee. Honestly, it is shocking that they've gone down from that to just one
Yeah.
committee. I don't know how they're going to talk about anything, honestly, or at least anything with some actual substance
Yeah.
on those committees. Um, And then, yeah, other than that, we've seen a lot of like I say, a lot of losses. Um, like I say, 16, since they started on that one. The Kirkley stuff that's happened. Um, oh, I update from Doncaster Airport as well. Doncaster
Oh,
Airport's
oh,
actually reopening. Hooray!
yay!
Because they used it as I thought they might. It was a massive kabuki theatre stunt to before the elections to like drum up support for reform because it looks like they're holding the Labour mayor to account. They're not all. They never were. They never were. They got really, I think, shown to be absolute fools, honestly, because they went and said, "Oh, but we've got all these extra like scrutiny things
Yeah.
put into the deal that we'll be keeping an eye on from now on." And then Oliver Coppard turns around and just goes, "What do you mean put in? It's already here in this file. In this file, that's public information that you can read."
Yeah. Great
Which they've been
Yarmouth.
claiming they haven't had access to for like 2 months.
Apparently, Ollie, a Great Yarmouth is in Norfolk, wherever that is.
Right.
So yeah, apparently we're a pair of northern
We're
monkeys.
we're off. Yeah. Well, it's the south. It's the south. No one cares about the south.
Freckle
It's the
Puny,
north is where it's at.
Freckle Puny saying it in inverted commas. I'm not a Nazi. It's just a phase I'm going through. So it's just like, yeah. So honestly, there's loads more stories. Like today, before this show, I typed in reform. I don't even think I typed in scandal, but something like that. And I went onto the news tab, and it was just story after story. There's a guy in Sandwell called Richard Massey or Richie Massey, who was operating a cafe which had a planning application rejected. Senior reform figure, cabinet, a member of the council there. And then there's the Zia, not Zia, was it Zia Youssef who came out with the civil service plan? No, it was Danny Kruger came up
Yep.
with this civil service plan this week, which was going to be about weakening the civil service code, about them being anonymous and not non-political. They wanted to expand political appointments within the civil service, reduce institutional independence. They wanted to give greater ministerial control over the civil service, and like the civil servants exists partially to tell ministers things they don't want to hear,
Mhm.
But Danny Kruger, privately educated, of course, who's a RefUK, he's a RefUK MP now because he defected, didn't he, from the Tories, I think, or is he still an MP? I don't know, but he was. Yeah, this is very much like what's going on in America right now, you know.
Yeah, I mean, well, it's all funded exactly the same stuff. It's exactly the same, stuff we've been seeing going over there.
Yeah,
So yeah, it's just one of those things where there's just so much. Honestly, there's just so much stuff constantly, like every single day.
yeah.
Um, I could just
Do
talk
you think they're
about there
doing it
was the
on
fact that there
purpose?
was a
They're trying to flood the zone like Trump does.
yeah, I mean there was a failed coup as well that happened. Where did this happen? The coup now in Lincolnshire, that was it. So there was a reform guy who was part of the business portfolio on the council as his job. Um, that he was sort of given. He tried to take over the council leadership position in like a coup and failed. And now he's been suspended by the leader
Yeah,
because of that. So, in fighting basically, and that causes more problems on these councils. Um, and I've said it many times. You've got to hope. You've got to hope that you've got good officers in your
mm,
council. And bear in mind, most officers are very good. The vast majority of them are very good. That do run, local councils. The big problem will be is now retention. How many of these people that are good are just going to go, yeah, I'm not dealing with this for the next couple of years and just go.
Yeah.
And then the other next problem is hiring, because a lot of these councils that have had reform for over a year are suddenly finding it mysteriously very difficult to actually hire people.
Yeah.
I wonder why.
Yeah.
I wonder why, especially when you look at complaints that these reform councillors have generated, a large number of them are not external complaints, they're internal complaints from people working for the council.
Yeah.
So we'll never know, of course, about those complaints unless someone comes out and specifically says what they are. Um, but yeah, the morale of like council officers and people who work for the council at the moment in these reform places is at an all-time low.
No.
It's an absolute all-time low.
Um, Shropshire Chris saying, keep an eye on Sandwell. It's a slow motion car crash waiting to happen. Chris is saying it started to kick off in Southampton with protesters or the thugs have started attacking police vehicles. Chris is asking if you got any news on Staffordshire County Council. Chris had a polling card today. Well, this is where they've had 3 leaders in a year. In
yeah. That
we?
was yeah.
We got a bit of churn.
Yeah, all of them for all of them for social media posts.
Yeah.
So I
It's
think
almost
there
as though you
is
shouldn't allow these people on social media.
I think you've got a by-election there, I think, coming in by the sound of it, if you've got a poll card on that one.
But that's another one where the council tax has shot up, hasn't it? Because they said, oh, we'll make it cheaper. We'll tax you less, and we'll have better services. And they've cut services and made things shit. And they realise there's certain services that they can't cut. And the Tories cut all council services to the bone.
Yeah.
15 years ago. So it's not like they can suddenly, pull something out of the hat and go, oh, we wasted a lot of money on this. Well, councils aren't wasting money on anything these days. They don't have the money to waste.
And the funny thing is, I find about a lot of the local reform people in Barnsley, they're all crying. They're all crying and absolutely convinced that Steve Houchin, the guy who used to run Barnsley Council, as like one of the Labour councillors, he is cast by these people as like some form of Al Capone of Barnsley, and they're all expecting him to be like arrested for like mass like fraud and corruption.
Yeah.
But county councils like this, there's a ton of stuff in place to catch this, and yet this guy has been on and run. Well, he's been a councillor for over 30 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it's going to disappoint a lot of people when they don't find a lot of this stuff, because I have to look more into this today, but there was a council meeting today where they demanded an audit or something like that happened today, and like I'll probably end up doing a video about it tomorrow, but yeah. It kicked off apparently on the council today.
Oh, Jesus. Well, we have got some good news. Idris Elba is now Sir Idris Elba. He has been knighted by the Queen, who's now a king. So that's good, isn't it? Yeah. Take that. The racists won't like that. They should make him James Bond, make him a Knight of the Realm, and then have him, I don't know, trek to the Antarctic or something. They won't like it, Ollie. But I'm afraid it's we have been yakking on now for nearly an hour. We're a bit late getting started, but that was my fault, not Ollie's. But I was going to say, if you want to keep watching, you'll automatically be transported over to Maximilian Robespierre's stream. So shout out, it's a raid, yay, and say hello from us. But that's it from me and Ollie Bowlerhatman, who you can find at Bowlerhatman here on the YouTubes. And hopefully we can do this again at some point. I'd like to get Ed and Jack on at some point. Ed Kimberley, councillor in Worcestershire or Worcester actually, and Jack Dart he used to be a Lib Dem councillor. Jack. He's not anymore,
Oh, yeah.
but he runs ReformWatch, and he does some really great videos. So if you can look out for Jack Dart, he's a good person to follow. So thanks very much to everyone in the chat. Thanks to Chris there for letting us know what was happening in Southampton, because bloody hell, the BBC News is... I don't know what they're talking about, but it's not what's happening in Southampton. And obviously, thanks to my wonderful co-host, Ollie. I'll be back at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. Give us a like on the way out. We always like a like on this channel, even when my like button doesn't fucking work. But yeah, give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Yay! Like.
Hey.
Give us a like before you go. And yeah, until we see each other again, I'll say hello, good evening, welcome, and goodbye.
Bye.